Hi there guys and girls, it's Jess here again from Proactivity, and I was just doing some ninja training. Is that what we're here for? Not quite, but that's okay. All these exercises we are learning here, and there's so many more that we can learn. It's just a bit of a foundation for doing things like that. I tried a bit of cartwheels to start with for session 1, a bit of wall climbing there, and what we're going to learn today is about postural mobility and gaining strength. Okay, so that will enable us to do things like that. Okay, pull-ups, climbs, all that big heavy upper body stuff. This is what we're going to be working on today. Okay, but nothing can prepare us, okay, with our body is about getting our posture right for things. So like we did with our squats last week, talking on posture and techniques and cues on how to really position ourselves. Today we are going to be doing a very similar thing for mobility. Okay, so what we're going to do is a little bit slower to start with the class, and then we're going to get into a little bit more heavier sort of activity. Okay, we're going to also talk to you about lactic acid and what lactic acid is, or another way of putting it is putting your muscles into fatigue. Okay, so getting your muscles really tired. So from the session previously, you may have had sore muscles, I'm not too sure, or they may have felt sore while doing exercises. Now we're going to give you an example of that today, and really important to learn and to identify when your muscles are feeling like they're screaming or you've had absolutely enough. Okay, because if you're feeling like that as a trainer, imagine what your participants are feeling like. Okay, so really important to have awareness and knowledge, okay, about the activities that you are providing people if you can't do them yourself. All right, so it's always key. Okay, so we're going to start with some mobility exercises. All right, now with that we're going to start down on the ground. These are nice and slow. Some of these poses or positions you may have done in yoga as well, or if you do Pilates. It's a bit of a foundation of those type of classes. Okay, so we are going to be stretching and working to start with through our sort of hip flexor region. All right, so if we do a bit of running, this is the area here through the front of our hips, and we're going to try and work on freeing up that position or that part of our body. So we're going to start by, in this plank position we did last week, and what I want you to do is step one foot forward to the other hand and then drop that back leg down, and now we're going to stand or sit up tall. Okay, now we should feel a nice big stretch through this back leg. Okay, and if you don't, what I want you to think about doing is squeezing this glute, and you can reach nice and tall, and that should be a nice big long stretch. Okay, all the way up your body. All right, again, as per last week, we talked about holding things for 20 to 30 seconds. Same applies here. Okay. Now from here, what we're going to do is stretch the front of our leg. So if we can, I want you to pull this back leg up and pull it to your heel. Okay. If you can't do that, it does not matter. I just want you to sit in this position. Okay. And sit as comfortably as you can. Who cares if your mate there is doing it and you can't? It doesn't matter. All right. Our bodies are all made very differently. All right. That's what makes us such beautiful human beings. Okay, is that we're all different, and it's okay to be different. All right. All right. So we're going to then change over. So we come back here. We step the other foot forward, drop that back leg down, and we sit and we stretch this side. Okay. Remember what I said. If you need more of a stretch, you can reach tall, squeeze the glute. Okay. Don't have to lean into it. Reaching up, nice and long through the body. And we want to reach back and see if you can pull that heel, which will stretch further through the quadricep, so through the front there. And if you can't do it, just sit and hold into this position for a little bit longer. Okay, we're now going to step back. So what we're going to do is back into this position. Okay, we're going to step this foot forward. Now 2 options here. You can either drop that back leg down, that will be a bit easier, or you can keep it off the ground. And we're going to, with this hand here, closest to the foot, I want you to open up to the roof. Okay, and we're going to hold in this position. And you can feel the time under tension of your body and how hard this is actually to just hold this still position. Now, if it's becoming too much, make sure you drop that back leg down and it takes a bit of the pressure off. All right, if you need to. All right, I don't expect you to be doing up here, and you need to, whatever you do, make sure that you feel comfortable with the exercise. You can bring that hand back down, we can step back. We're going to push that head through, stretch through the back of the legs. This is downward dog. And we're going to step through the other side. Now again, knee off if you'd like to advance it, or knee down if you need to regress this down a bit. All right, now by putting this arm up, we're actually rotating through our thoracic, which is through our spine. Okay? So not only are we stretching through the back of the legs, through the hips, we are actually also stretching and rotating through our spine, and in a real nice, slow manner. So we're going to push back, step through. We're going to do one more on each side. I'll let you decide if you want knee down or knee up. And come back, push that head through. And step through. Open that hand up. And hold in that position. Time under tension of the body. And come back, push back. All right, drop to your knees. Okay. The next little exercise we're going to do is a pigeon pose, or as I would just say to my guys, it's the way we stretch, all right, a good way to stretch and open up through your hip. So, downward dog, pressing up, push through. We're going to kick that leg up, and then this knee is going to come through to the front, okay, in this position. Now really key with this one here is that we watch where our hips, so you actually, rather than just doing the movement itself, have a look at where your hips sit. Like, are you a bit skew-whiff and a bit lopsided? Do you feel a bit, you need to make sure that you're nice and symmetrical. All right, so the hips are sitting flush towards the ground. They don't have to be on the ground. All right, and ideally you want to, this leg should be up if you can. Everyone's range and flexibility is going to be different here, okay? I'm not that mobile through the hips, as you can see, okay? So, if you can, come up, and we're trying to open up through the hip region, okay? And we can push back, kick up, and change over sides. Again, have a look at where your hips are aligned. Do you look like you're rocking over, or do you look nice and symmetrical? Are you sitting centered? Is that back leg, is that nice and straight? Or is it crooked? All right, ask your partner next to you. If you've got someone sitting next to you, hey, do I look all right? Do I look like I'm centered? Does my leg look okay? So we do this one twice. So we push back, kick up, drive through, and notice as we go through these, do you feel like your range and mobility is increasing? Do you feel more flexible in the area? Do you feel like you've gained a bit of range? Do you feel like you can get further down? Do you feel like your foot can come further up? All right, so have a feel of what your body is doing. Drive through. And these are really nice stretches to take people through on a warm-up, which is what we're doing now. You can do it on a cool down. You can do it for an actual session if you wanted to. If you feel like your client or the people you are training are more entitled to doing something like this, then put them through this type of a program. It's a bit slower, more flow. Push back. Okay, so now from here we go into our child's pose. So we're going to sit on the bottom, we're going to reach those fingertips forward and tuck that head in. And we're going to try and have a nice big stretch through your lats, right down the side of your body base. We're going to really reach those fingertips forward. Sit that bum to the heels. And then from here, we're actually going to scoop ourselves forward and we're going to press up and we're going to look up. Okay. And then we come back and you can scoop forward, press up, look up. Right, so stretching through the abdominals, stretching through that lower back. Come back, and forward. So these are some things that you guys can incorporate into your warm-ups or your cool-downs. That are really low impact and nice movements on the body. Okay, now I know that you've probably done a bit of this stuff. You may do it in yoga. I highly recommend to give it a go. The last one I'm going to finish with is just for our back, but it's really important because we will work our back and our chest for us to also do these exercises. Okay, so we're going to reach underneath and try and open up through the shoulder blade. So nice big reach, trying to get that shoulder blade down towards the ground. And coming up and reaching the other side. And come up, all right. So we're going to head on to our stomachs, lying from there, and we talk about activation. Activation is about switching the muscles on, particularly the little muscle groups, so like our glutes, maybe our glute muscles, more importantly through the core, engaging those before we start certain exercises, okay? So today we will be working our glute muscles, and I want us to go into, it's called a mule kick, all right? Put your chin on your hands, and like you have a piece of string pulling that foot up to the roof, is a tiny little lift. All right. Now if you feel like you're lifting too much, you're probably feeling it through your hips or your lower back. You should just be feeling this through your glutes. All right, so if you need to, pop your hand behind and just have a bit of a feel of what the body's doing and be aware. And you can change size. So you might do maybe 10 to 15 of these little mule kicks, only a tiny lift, and we activate our glutes, okay? From there, we're going to come up to our knees, okay? We come into a kneeling Superman. So make sure we're nice and neutral through our spine. We're not curved and we're not arched. You find that neutral position. Your knees are stacked under your hips. Your hands are stacked under your shoulders. And we're going to opposite hand and opposite leg is going to kick out and come back in. Kick out, come back in. Now to keep my body nice and stable, I'm really activating through my core. So I'm really making sure my core's switched on. Okay, whilst doing this movement. Now pushing that leg straight back, trying to squeeze that glute, nice and strong. And obviously working on the range that my shoulders can move. So again, you might want to do time on this. You could do a rep range, 10 on each side. Work within your ability. And last one here. Cool, so that was the kneeling Superman. The last one I'm going to finish with, just to activate those glutes again, is going to be a kickback. So drive that knee into your chest and kick straight back. Drive that into your chest, kick straight back. Knee to chest and straight back. So you say 10 on your right, you might do 10 on our left. Make sure you guys get the numbers done. 10 on your right, 10 on your left. Okay, and we're going to roll onto our backs. And we are going to do our bridges or our hip extensions. Now what we want to do here is make sure that we roll that tailbone of ours towards our belly button. Because if you roll it down, you'll arch through the back. And if you roll that tailbone, you'll up towards the belly button, you'll flatten out. Now we want that flat position. All right, heels are close-ish to the bottom. And what I want to do is peel that spine off and just come to about here, squeezing those glutes. And then I'm going to glue that spine back down. I'm going to peel it off the ground and I'm going to glue it back down, each vertebrae at a time. All right, peel it off and glue it down. The last point of contact should be the tailbone. Peel it off and glue it down. All right. Don't overextend. You don't want to overarch. That will hurt your lower back. All right. So key on that one. Make sure you don't overextend through that lower back. All right, because you can hurt yourself if you do too much. This is really nice slow control movements. Now what you can do to advance this, if someone had weight, you could actually pop weight here for them. Okay? Pop weight and they'd be driving through, using those big strong glute muscles, having to lift some weight. All right. There are, however, other ways to advance this activity. Like things like, we're going to hold up here. We might just pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You might get them to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You may get them to kick one leg out and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You may get them to sweep a leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or you could get them to drop a leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So all these different ways, all right, to advance exercises for people, all right, to make sure that they feel like they are getting what they need out of the exercises. Okay, so I feel pretty warm, I feel pretty activated in the area, I feel pretty ready to rock and roll, to be honest. We are going to work on putting our muscles to fatigue or building up lactic acid in a certain area. Now I think a really good one is our legs. All right, one of the biggest muscles in our body, really nice to try and get them to burn. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you about 30 or 40 seconds and we are going to use 2 exercises to try and really burn this, this muscle group. All right, so I guess hopefully you probably know of 2 exercises we could use from last week. Squats and lunges. Cool. We could use squats and lunges, but I'm going to show you another 2 this week because you guys have already done that last week. But squats and lunges are a perfect example of combining 2 exercises of the major muscle group, okay, and really putting them to fatigue, okay. I'm going to show you these next 2. So these are a lateral frog squat or frog jump. So we're going to jump laterally, which means side to side. So we're getting down nice and deep, okay. Now if you can't jump that, you're going to step it and try and squat down nice and deep. Okay, and our next exercise we are going to do, okay, is going to be, it's an explosive jack. So it's really powerful and you've got to land low through your legs. So we go up, it's like a big star jump, up, up. All right, so we land low through those legs and my chest stays nice and high. Okay, now if you need to, you could do star jumps, okay, as another option. All right, or step out. So, all the heaps of exercises we can go through. So let's do that. We're going to do 20 seconds on one and 20 seconds on another. We'll have a little rest in between and let's see how those legs feel after that. All right, we're going 3, 2, we're going to go to lateral frog jumps. 1, here we go. You've got 20 seconds worth of these. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to give you 5 seconds rest. We're going to go into those big explosive jacks. 4, 3, 2, 1. Up we go. Landing low through those legs. All right, big powerful jumps. All right, if you need to regress it down, do those star jumps. You've got to keep going, got to keep landing low. You can take the arms out if you want and do these. Okay, we are almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, shake those legs out. Now you should be feeling really heavy and wobbly through these legs, all right, if we've done them right, okay. Now key to those frog jumps is that we stay down nice and low, We use our legs and not our back. Okay, you can't keep doing this repetition because what's going to happen? That's right, you're going to hurt your lower back. Important to use your legs when picking anything up. All right, it's a functional movement to pick it up. Okay, use your legs. All right. So that was an example of trying to get your legs on fire. We'll do one with the arms. Okay, so we'll do the upper body, same thing. I'm going to do push-ups and I'm going to do commandos. Okay. Now we all know the push-up because we did that last week. We'll go through it again. Just on our knees is fine. Okay, and our commandos, I'll start on our knees. If you'd like to advance, you go to your feet. Drop to your elbow, elbow, hand, hand. Elbow, elbow, hand, hand. Okay, on your feet, elbow, elbow, hand, hand. Elbow, elbow, hand, hand. Okay, so we're going to do these two exercises and we're going to do them for 20 seconds on, a little bit of a rest and 20 seconds on again, and we'll see how that muscle group, this upper body feels. Okay, and it's only 40 seconds of work. All right, let's do it. We've got 20 seconds of push-ups. Here we go. Remember, try and get that chest as close to the ground as you can. And if you can't, just doing a little half. All right, go to the range that works best for you. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out, have a little rest. We dropped into those commandos in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pressing up, dropping down, pressing up. All right, if on your feet is too much, you please drop down to your knees. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, how do those shoulders, how does that back feel? Yeah? All right, so that's a good little way to get a bit of a burner in a certain area. All right, you pick 2 exercises, target 1 area, and that'll give you a real bit of a workout, and that's only 40 seconds of exercise. So imagine doing that 8 times, or 6 times, okay? But you need to make sure that you have a bit more rest in between if you're going to be doing it for longer, okay? We only did it 1 set, so I didn't really give you too much rest, okay? So make sure the longer time that you're making someone exercise, okay, you provide them a little bit more rest in between. So if I was to do 8 sets of that, 2 and 2, I'd probably have maybe anywhere between a 10 and a 20-second rest, okay, depending on the level of fitness, all right? So that's a really, really good one to work through. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll be rolling out into session number 3, and we'll be getting things started. We're going to get you guys doing some circuits soon, so we'll get some real high intense exercises happening, and I'm looking forward to that one. Cool. So guys, last part of our session 2 video, I'm going to take you through 6 new exercises, because what I'd like you to do is to provide these as part of your task to your partners. If you don't have a partner, you can just try this by yourself, okay? Ideally, I'd like you to do about 30 seconds on with a 15-second rest. So pop a timer on a watch, pop a timer on your phone, use a timer in somewhere, I'm sure you can find time. Okay, 30 seconds on with a 15-second rest. If there are exercises that you already know of, you could apply these anyway, but I'm going to teach you the ones that I feel like really get the heart rate up and really give you a really good workout, okay? Now hands up if you've done a burpee before. I think I've done 1,379 of them, okay? Now, burpees are a really good functional activity. It's chest to ground, feet in, and then with explosive up, okay? I will show you regressions to all of these exercises as we go. All right, that is a burpee. Now, if you need to regress that down, you can step it out and jump it in. Okay, and jump it in. You can also jump it out and jump it in, okay? You could also add a step or something, all right? So I call it an elevation piece. So a step up or a chair, you can jump out jump in and jump up. Doesn't matter what it is. Okay, that is your exercise. Number 1, burpees. Let's hope you can do 30 seconds of it, okay? Next exercise is going to be our 2-step side dash. So we're going to move sideways. So we're going to go 1, 2, tap down, use your legs. 1, 2, tap down, use your legs. 1, 2, tap down. Okay? There'll be 30 seconds of these. Now, if this is too much, because this will really start to burn these legs, what I want you to do is to shuffle. 1, 2, tap. 1, 2, tap. 1, 2, tap. 1, 2, tap. Okay? That will regress and make that exercise a little bit easier for you. Okay? Our next one we will roll into, okay, is going to be like the lunges, but a plyo lunge. It's a bit more dynamic. So we're going to kind of jump, all right? Or a ski jump, so you can pretend you've got skis on, jump. Now I don't expect you to go low with this one. I want you to stay nice and controlled. Now if it's too much, you're going to step it. Okay, step back, okay? So keep this control, keep the knees in a line, okay? That is exercise number 3. Okay, exercise number 4, okay? It is chest to ground again. Right, this is what makes it really hard, is having to get up and down all the time. Okay, so chest to ground and into our long jumps. So chest to ground, up, jump nice and long. Chest to ground, up, jump nice and long. Okay, now if that's too much, step it out, jump it in, jump it long. Or you could just take the chest to ground out and you could just do your long jumps again. Okay, broad jumps. Okay, so there's ways to advance it and there's ways to pull it back. Okay, always make sure you have those options for people. Okay, 2 more to go. So exercise number 5, okay, is going to be our mountain climbers, but we're going to move laterally. All right, so which is sideways. Lateral means sideways, to move sideways. So with those hands, moving sideways. Okay, and back. Now if that's too much, just stay on the spot, okay, and do them on the spot as we did for the first video, okay. Our last exercise, anyone want to have a guess what we might do? Yeah. Come on, hands in the air. All right. No, okay. All right, our last exercise is going to be, if you have the space to do it, you're going to run. So we're going to have sprints. Tap, 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 tap. All right, tapping from side to side. If you haven't got the space, we can go back to what we did in our warm-up, high knees, and you can climb the ladder with it. So it's called a ladder climb. So if you don't have space, you can do this. Or, same thing, but big marches. Okay? That's exercise number 6. The good old basic run. Okay? So, have fun with those. Be creative with your exercises and your activities. You can apply what we applied in video 1 to doing something like this. And I look forward to hearing about it. Cool.